You've got the touch. You've got the power.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, sitting here, thanks to TABtouch, joined by Luke Fernie, one of the great trainers rolling around in Western Australia now. Is that too much for a pump up or?
Too much for sure.
Mate, know you on and off the course. It's been good getting to know you, but we're going to chat a little bit about what's coming up over the next few weeks. Of course, we've got the Quokka not too far away. But before we get there, I did want to find out a bit about your journey. Know your old man's been in the industry for a fair bit. How did you get into this? Because my notes tell me that you used to be a Sparky.
Yeah, very ordinary.
A bad
Sparky.
one.
Very ordinary Sparky at that. Yeah, as we both know, Sheeta, Dom, I'd work with his old man. So,
Is that right?
Yeah.
So Sheet Electrical.
Sheet Electrical, they picked me up and put me down for a little bit, and I realised that roof spaces weren't my calling and twitch and wires weren't good for me. So, yeah, I started off doing that, and family was always in horse racing, so I moved on to that path, and it's worked out good so far.
You're a Kalgoorlie boy.
Yeah, Kalgoorlie boy, kicked off there and moved here 6 years ago and haven't looked back since.
What are the challenges been sort of coming into industry and now you're sort of, I guess, fully fledged? Like what's been hard about it?
Probably just getting a clientele base is the hardest part. I've been lucky enough that my old man set a lot of it up himself, and I sort of picked off a few of his owners and put them into my stable, which is always helpful. But yeah, clientele basis, and then once you've got the horses, you've got to try and get results on the track, and we've been lucky enough for that to happen as well.
For casual observers like myself, what goes into being a trainer? Early hours?
Yeah, the alarm goes off at 3:45 each morning, and
right.
Yeah, they are long days. It's pretty hard. Some people do it as a hobby, so once they knock off work, they want to call you late at night and have a chat about the horses, and you've been up since 4 o'clock, which does make it a bit testing at times, but you do it because you love the horses and you love having a beer and joking around with your mates at the end of the day and having a good time with good people.
Why is it such an early start? Is that a stupid question?
No, I hate it. I wish they didn't do it.
Just start kicking them off at 10 a.m.?
Yeah, I think I've got no idea why. It's an ongoing question that you get asked to why it takes starts so early and takes so long, but it'd be nice if you could kick off at 7 o'clock and get it all over and done with by 10 or 11 o'clock. But yeah, it's just an old recipe that everybody's used, I think.
I know you well. Hayden Ballantyne's another guy I obviously played against in footy. If we do a bit of a footy crossover, speaking to him, and I wonder if you see it the same. Like he speaks a little bit about there's a lot of similarities between training horses and like training people. Like
yeah, well, I was useless at footy, so I can't really compare to how I used to train on the track.
But it's not just the horses are one thing. Like there is you're training a performance vehicle effectively.
Absolutely. Right? There's a lot of sports science that goes into it now, and as you know, with footy, it's very similar to that. You get your heart rates, your lactates, and everything that goes through a horse is very similar to what humans do to build up their fitness and get them to their best sort of physical shape they can be in.
Yeah. Do you remember your first horse that ran? Like, do you remember? Like, is there? I think about footy and you think about game one. Is there like a race one for horse trainers?
Yeah. I took a horse to Esperance one day, and Dad wanted me to learn the ropes. I couldn't have my trainer's license, and the horse tailed off last. And I thought, Jesus Christ, this is horrible. I'm not doing this anymore. And I ended up having a few horses in his name without having my trainer's license, and they kept winning. And then once I got my license, they'd all won the races they could, and I couldn't get near it. So I was filthy for another 6 months after I first got my license because I was going to the races getting beat each week. But luckily the penny dropped and I started to get a few more fast ones.
What's the pressure like for you boys? I look at you like the coach, right? And again, I'm just trying to give a few analogies that I understand at least. You got the head coach, you got the press conference afterwards. I've seen you in action. We'll speak about our horse 5 Down in a little bit, but get an update for the people on 5 Down. I assume should be running the Quokka.
Yeah, Quokka.
Yeah, perfect. So we'll get back to that. But I look at you and you speak to the owners, you speak to the jockey. You got the sort of post-race debrief. Like, are you the coach? Was that what you are?
Essentially, that's what it is, and you're only as good as the people that you have around you.
Yes.
So I've got the staff. You got to read the horse as best you can. You got to read the jockey as best you can. I mean, they got to try and ride at a light weight, and sometimes they're wasting and doing it pretty tough the morning of the races. So you got to try and cuddle them through and give them a good explanation about the horse, and then you got to try and keep the owners happy, which sometimes isn't the easiest thing if they're getting beat. I know that you boys get filthy when I tell you 5 down to win and he runs last, so you got to deal with expectation as well. So it's a lot of juggling, but yeah, it's enjoyable at the same time.
There's no difference, mate. Like if you're there to win, well, like the supporters, AFL clubs, they're angry with the coach. So that's what I was asking about the pressure. Like, do you feel, you've got a lot of horses, right? You're dealing with jockeys, you got a lot going on, but do you feel the individual pressure when you're racing? Like you ride it?
Absolutely, and you take good pride and you want to always be successful. And I think more so now that I've gone through a fair few big races and learnt the sort of the caper a little bit better, you start to relax and realise you can't control everything. Everyone's out there having a crack, trying to do their best. And I think with maturity you realise you can't win every race. It's suppose the same as footy, you can't win every game you're playing. Yeah, everyone has an off day, and that's something that I reckon I've learned a lot over the last couple of years.
What's sort of the community like here in Western Australia? Clearly there's a lot of competition. I mean, you're training horses to race against each other, but I assume like pretty tightly knit, or at least tightly connected in area. It's not 100 racetracks to be going around and training your horses.
No, and everyone seems to get along with everyone really good, because I think you're in the same boat, you're trying to achieve the same things, and it's not an easy industry. If you're down the bottom of the pecking order, it's certainly tough going, and if you're at the top, you want to try and bring people up to help them out as much as you can. So it is quite a tight-knit community, and we do make things work between each other.
Asked about your first race, which sounds like you butchered. What about some of your great races? Like what are some of the big moments for you?
Winning the Placid R a couple of years ago was pretty exciting. Horse was dead last, and I thought, geez, here we go again, same as my first runner. But this one managed to let go down the outside, and it was pretty breathtaking, which was give us a really good thrill. Had a lot of runners not a lot of runners, but had a few runners in Group 1 races that have gone close without winning, but they've run places, which is always exciting. We just need to tick off one of them big race wins, which would be really nice.
I just want to read you a quote from your mouth. After the Kalgoorlie Cup in 2023 with Be Optimistic. I'm pretty scared for what the next couple of days holds for us. But mate, Kalgoorlie, but I know, Cal isn't a Div 1 or anything like that, but winning the Kalgoorlie Cup as a Kalgoorlie local, that's big, I assume.
Yeah, definitely. And the money and everything that comes along with it isn't important. It was the people that were involved with the horse, which were really close friends and love racing in Kalgoorlie, and to win it for them was fantastic.
Right.
And, the celebrations probably weren't as long as I expected them to be, because I'd been going for 2 days beforehand, but it was good fun. And winning races, I like going to country and provincial tracks, because there is a community that support racing apart from the metro meetings, and it's good fun to go there and sort of spread your wings a little bit and sort of get out and get amongst it.
Yes, very good. I can imagine that would have been a nice weekend for you. Speak a little bit about it. As the company that fired you to set you on your course to be a trainer in Sheet Electrical, Dom Sheed, a good mate of both yours and mine, as well as Daniel Venable. So I don't think Sheeta has really anything to do other than being your mate and one of the owners of 5 Down. But Dan Venable's an interesting one. He's working with you at the moment?
He's down there. Yeah, three or four times a week. And like I said earlier, sports science is creeping into racing a hell of a lot. And although Veners isn't the brightest crown in the box, he'd certainly...
And you are.
Yeah. Dumb and dumber, they call us, walking around the track. He's really interested in the sports science of it. And we got meters that go on the horses, and he's doing a course now to learn a little bit more into that. And he really enjoys the horses, and I think it's a good escape for him as well.
Yeah, he likes the early starts. Like, we know that he left the AFL world due to concussion, and, I hope I'm sort of probably not oversharing here, but I think it's pretty commonly known that, Veners has really struggled post-footy with his brain. Like, that's why he left the game, and the early starts help him. Like, he's not in the midday sun, and gets up, gives him purpose.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's good for him to sort of clear his mind. It gives him an out, and he thoroughly enjoys it, loves the horses, and he loves both sides of it, which is exactly what you want. You want to love the horse, and you want to understand how everything revolves, and that's a big way that he enjoys being involved with it. What's
the big motivator for you? Do you want, is it Group 1s? Is it you want to take horses over east and do that? Like what?
Well, I did think it was to take horses over east, and I took them there. They went shit house, so I didn't. I might put the cue back in the rack there for a little bit. But I think when you're around good people, I know that we haven't had heaps of success with 5 down, but when you have good blokes, good owners, everything around, and the horses win, the joy that you see on their faces is really rewarding, and it's good fun in that sense.
All right, so you got some Group 1 wins in you over here?
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. If I can't win one, I'm just going to tell everybody I make the owners happy. And
So, well, do you want to talk about 5 down now, or you want to finish with that?
well, he'll be running in the Quokka in a month's time, won't he?
Mate, it's been really interesting for me, mate, because like you can hear from my questions, I don't understand racing, right? And I'm no expert. I'm a casual observer, but yeah, look, we haven't had thus success. I think we've won a couple of races.
Yeah, a couple of races. Gone close a couple of times. But he's certainly not the worst horse. He's like, how can you explain it? When you got a full forward that's big and tall and lanky and they take a bit of time to come into themselves, that's what I'm hoping happens with 5 down. Hopefully he's still just maturing and he'll make a horse of it.
He's been, it's been the as you're saying, actually, what's been the best part of it, and it's why we did it, it actually hasn't been about winning and the journey in that sense. We're in a WhatsApp group, and even when it loses, we're talking.
Yeah,
right? We're giving each other shit. We're giving you shit. I don't think you're in the WhatsApp, so you
I've got a few
put him in the gun. But the good thing about it from our point of view is like we're keeping a team together that we might not have many other reasons to be talking at the moment. Right?
Yeah, and that's exactly the reason Dom sort of put the group together with you boys. He said we want to try and keep everybody as interacted as we can after the premiership win, and hopefully we do get a few more good reasons to talk in the group chat. But it's like you said, it's good to get all the boys with a bit of banter.
Yeah, so if you could just sort out a few more wins, that'd be great. So the Quokka upcoming, we're talking just at the back end of March here. So Bravo Centurion.
Yeah, we got a race for him this Saturday, Rock Magic. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, he'll be very hard to beat there, and we should be able to get a slot there with one of the slot holders. Unfortunately, TABtouch didn't think I was a good enough trainer to give me a slot.
This chat brought to you by TABtouch. Looking forward to the Western Trilogy coming up, of course. But you're hoping to get that slot. It's the richest race in WA.
Yeah, and it's a good incentive. I mean, we get the best sprinters possible over to race for big money, and there's been a lot of people at the races. TABtouch have done a fantastic job the way they've promoted it the last couple of years. I mean, the race day's fantastic there. It's always a sellout, good jockeys, good horses, and a good day out, which is always the main thing.
What's goals for you, mate, over short to medium term? What do you want to do?
Just keep training as many winners as we can. Okay. Get 5 down to win 5 or 6. And
that's what I was hoping to hear.
That's what we want. But yeah, just keep chipping away the same. You don't want to overdo it and don't want to slack off at the same time. Just keep chipping away, head above water, and keep enjoying it.
Good, mate. Been really good to chat to you. Good luck in the Quokka. If you could just put a bit of preference towards the time you're spending with 5 down, that would be nice. And enjoyed watching your journey a little bit from afar, a little bit up close as well. And good luck for upcoming season.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You've got the touch.
Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.